For over 100 years, humans had been part of the Galactic Union. They arrived late, their ships were small, their technology was not the best, and they spoke little. The other alien races laughed at humans. Observers, they called them, talkers, not fighters, too kind, too soft, too slow. And the humans, they never argued. They just smiled, they listened, and they watched. Human scientists worked with other species. They helped build starports, fixed broken tech, and studied alien history. They always came in peace. Even when insulted, even when cheated, even when their people were hurt. Some races respected that. Most did not. The Zarnok Empire, proud and powerful, hated humans the most. To them, peace was weakness, mercy was failure, and silence was fear. They wanted to rule the galaxy, and humans stood in the way, but the humans never fought back. They sent diplomats. They signed every treaty. They accepted every punishment, even when it wasn't fair. They're cowards, the Zarnok leader hissed. They won't do anything. One day, a human research ship called the Horizon entered Zarnok space by mistake. It was unarmed, filled with scientists, not soldiers. They were studying dark energy patterns near a dying star. They sent a message. To Zarnok Command, we apologize for the intrusion. We will leave immediately. But the Zarnok didn't answer. Instead, they launched 6 warships. The Horizon was destroyed in less than 10 minutes. 83 human scientists? Gone. No survivors. No warning. No reason. The Zarnok sent no message, no apology, just silence. The Galactic Council held an emergency meeting. What will the humans do? Will they declare war? Will they beg for peace again? But Earth said nothing. For days, then weeks, there was no reply. Human embassies shut down. Human ships stopped moving. No more messages, no more smiles, just silence. At first, the galaxy thought Earth was afraid. Then they thought Earth was mourning. But slowly, fear began to grow. What if humans weren't weak? What if they were just waiting? 3 weeks after the destruction of the Horizon, something strange happened. A Zarnok patrol ship went missing near the Void Rim. Then another. Then a whole fleet, minus 27 ships, disappeared without a trace. The Zarnok tried to hide it, but whispers spread. A trader ship passed through the area. Its captain spoke of seeing dark shapes in the stars, ships with no lights, no signals, silent, cold, watching. He said they didn't attack. They just stared, and then vanished. They were human ships, the captain said. I know what I saw. The Galactic Council laughed, but they were nervous now, because deep down they remembered something. Humans were not just talkers. They were listeners. They remembered everything, and they never forgot. Earth finally sent a message. It was short, just one line. We observed, we recorded, now we act. A chill spread across the stars. No one knew what it meant. No one knew what was coming, but in secret, in the dark corners of space, something was moving. Human warships, not large, not loud, but hidden. Ships no one had seen before. Designed not to be noticed, built not for war, but for revenge. For 100 years, humans had studied every empire. They had mapped weaknesses. They had tracked war crimes. They had built weapons in silence. Weapons made for one purpose, to end threats before they began. And now, the threat had begun. The Zarnok War Station never replied. Scouts were sent to investigate. But when they arrived, the station was gone. No debris, no signal, just empty space. Even stranger, there were no signs of a battle, no scorch marks, no wreckage, nothing. It was as if the station had vanished. Silently, the Zarnok commanders grew angry. This is a trick, one said. Pirates, maybe, said another. Humans, no, they don't have that kind of power. But inside, even the bravest captains felt a cold fear. Something was wrong. Something was watching. Reports began to rise from across the outer colonies. Cargo ships whispered of black shapes drifting in the void. No lights, no heat, no sounds. They didn't respond to hails. They didn't chase, they only watched from a distance. Then vanished. A merchant captain sent a final log. They didn't fire, but I swear I felt death looking at me. That ship never made it home. The Zarnok High Command grew restless. They sent more fleets to patrol their borders. But every night, more ships disappeared. Always at the edge of sensor range. Always without a trace. In one system, a full battalion went dark. Hours later, a single escape pod was found. Inside was one soldier, trembling, eyes wide, blood on his face. He kept repeating the same words. They came from the dark. They didn't speak, they didn't miss. Humans. Humans did this. The Galactic Council demanded answers from Earth, but Earth still said nothing. No statements, no warnings, only silence. Then something strange happened. In the capital of the Feroz Republic, a neutral world, a giant screen flickered to life in the sky. It showed a message, written in ancient Terran script. You taught us war. You punished our peace. Now we bring balance. Earth Commandant, below the message, a list of names appeared. Zarnok generals, Fierian slavers, pirate lords, war criminals, all known for acts committed against humans over the last 100 years. Within hours, all those names were marked as neutralized. The council was shocked. How is this possible? One ambassador shouted. They were protected, guarded by fleets. But it was true. Those people were gone, killed, vanished. Silently and still. No one saw the human ships. No one heard their weapons. No one could stop them. Fear gripped the galaxy. Some called them ghosts. Others whispered of invisible machines. But the name that spread the fastest. The name that stayed in every mind. Silent killers. Alien empires began arming themselves. They launched probes. They tried to track human movement, but it didn't work, because the truth was terrifying. The humans had already mapped every world, every fleet, every weak point. And now they were using it. One Zarnak officer tried to send a message to Earth. We surrender. We apologize. Please stop. There was no reply, only a returned signal, a voice in perfect Zarnak language. You had your chance. You destroyed peace. Now we remove the destroyers. Across the galaxy, silence spread like a disease. No one trusted their sensors. No one slept peacefully. Commanders double-checked their shields. Soldiers watched the darkness. But nothing came. Nothing. Yet. Then, on the 30th day after the horizon was destroyed, every major broadcast channel flickered. Screens across space stations and city domes turned black. No one knew where the signal came from. No one could stop it. It just started. A human face appeared. Old, cold, calm eyes. Like steel. Behind him, only darkness. He didn't shout. He didn't threaten. He spoke clearly, slowly, in perfect galactic common. We were explorers. We were friends. We offered peace and were given pain. The message played across 10,000 systems. From rich worlds to mining, colonies, even pirates and smugglers saw it. No one looked away. You killed our scientists. You laughed at our silence. You mistook patience for weakness. That was your last mistake. Across the screen, videos began to play short, sharp clips. A human colony bombed by pirates. Human diplomats humiliated at the Galactic Council. Human doctors executed during a war they didn't start. The destruction of the Horizon, the research ship, unarmed, torn apart by Zarnok fire. The final clip showed the council chambers, Zarnok and others laughing as Earth's ambassador walked out in silence. The human speaker returned. For 100 years, we recorded everything. We knew war was your language, so we studied it, in silence. Now, you will understand ours. A long pause, then a single word appeared across the stars. Justice. The screen went black, but the signal wasn't over. In every system, a second transmission followed. A list planet names, outposts, war fleets, military bases, each marked with a countdown. Some said 72 hours, some 24, and a few just said executed. Panic exploded. Are we on the list? Why didn't they give us a chance to speak? Can we still make peace? But Earth said nothing. The Galactic Council begged for a response. They sent envoys, they offered money. They even blamed the Zarnok. But Earth ignored them all, because this time there would be no talks, no delays, no mercy. In the Zarnok High Courts, riots broke out. Soldiers deserted. Civilians fled core worlds. the Zarnok Emperor gave a public speech. "We are strong. We will fight. We will not bow to Earth." That same night, his palace exploded. No ships were seen. No weapon trails, only dust remained. One alien general said in fear, "They are not fighting a war. They are carrying out a sentence." The galaxy wanted answers. How did humans build such deadly ships? Where did they come from? Why didn't anyone see this coming? The truth was simple. They did see it. They just didn't understand what they were looking at. While the galaxy laughed, while Earth sent peacekeepers, doctors, and scientists. Another project was growing deep in the dark. It was called the Ghost Fleet Initiative. Top secret, no records, no broadcasts, only whispers between Earth's oldest generals. It began 87 years ago, after the first human outpost was destroyed. By raiders, no help came. The Council called it an unfortunate accident. That day, Earth decided, if the galaxy brings war, we will build silence to answer it. The plan was bold and terrifying. Build warships without broadcasting. Their creation? Use hidden shipyards in asteroid belts and dead zones. Train AI-controlled drone units with no emotion, no delay. Design weapons that didn't explode loudly, but erased targets without sound. They called them ghost ships. They had no lights, no names, no flags, only one purpose: strike and disappear. Every human colony paid into the program, even the smallest. Even peace-loving scientists agreed. We tried kindness, it failed. Now we prepare for silence. The first test of the Ghost Fleet came 30 years ago. A pirate king attacked a human medical transport. He bragged about it on open comms. 3 days later, his entire base vanished. Sensors picked up nothing, not even a single gunshot. Some thought it was an asteroid. Others blamed a black hole. Earth said nothing, but the Ghost Fleet had begun back. In the present, the galaxy now saw the full picture. Zarnok systems marked as executed began to shut down. Communications failed, power grids fried, defense systems turned off from inside, and then, in silence, the human ships moved in. Huge explosions. No glory, just cold, perfect destruction. In one system, 15 Zarnok warships went missing. In the next, a weapons factory turned to ash in 3.2 seconds. Alien analysts tried to figure it out. How did they strike so fast? How did they travel undetected? What are these weapons? But Earth had hidden the Ghost Fleet too well. Not even their closest allies knew. A single intercepted human log answered the galaxy's fear. If they cannot see the threat, they cannot stop it. That is the strength of silence. And then something terrifying happened. Human fleets appeared inside Council space, not outside. Inside their secure regions, right above planets believed safe. They didn't fire. They didn't move. They just hovered, watching, recording, waiting. A Zarnok fleet tried to attack one of them. Missiles fired. Lasers burned. But the human ship was gone before impact. And within 2 minutes, all Zarnok ships stopped responding. A Council report whispered, "No one saw the counterattack. We only found the wreckage neatly arranged in orbit." Like a warning, alien leaders finally realized the Ghost Fleet wasn't built for war. It was built to end war. The galaxy waited, watched, trembled. Human ships floated across star systems like ghosts. They didn't fire first. They didn't speak. They simply waited until the timer ran out. On day 45, after the horizon was destroyed, the first countdown reached 0. A small Zarnok mining world, barely defended, went dark. Satellites caught only one blurry image before the blackout. A large black human ship in low orbit, surrounded by clouds of drones. No explosions, no warning, just silence. Then darkness. The next morning, the planet's command center was gone, replaced by a crater, deep, clean, and glass-smooth. The Zarnok Empire responded with panic. They launched fleets to protect the next target system, VU ROK-9. Thousands of ships, newer weapons, advanced shields. They waited, but no one attacked until the power grid shut down. Then the oxygen system. Then the fleet's own weapons turned inward. Boom! The explosion came from inside the command ship. "They didn't just hack us," one officer whispered before the feed cut out. "They built these ships to break us from within." Within 1 week, 12 military systems went offline. No calls, no survivors. Only black boxes later recovered by terrified salvage crews that recorded one common sound, a calm human voice saying, "Target marked, neutralizing." Then silence. The Galactic Council begged Earth again. "Please stop. We'll sign any treaty. We'll pay reparations." "This is genocide." Earth replied with just one message. "This is balance." Other species began to turn against the Zarnok. "We warned them," said the Uthon ambassador. "They destroyed peace. Let them face the storm." Some empires started evacuating their worlds, afraid they might be next. Rumors spread that humans know everything. They built AI that watches every planet. They have weapons that erase gravity. One theory said Earth had created a black hole cannon. Another claimed they had time warp bombs. But the truth was simpler and scarier. Humans weren't using superweapons. They were just better planners. For 100 years, humans had studied every system. They knew where fleets refueled, where soldiers slept, where leaders hid. They didn't strike randomly. They struck surgically. One empire called it precision extinction. In one haunting broadcast, a Zarnok war hero looked straight into the camera and said, "We laughed at their silence." But the silence was never fear. It was calculation. Then he put down his weapon and surrendered. But surrender didn't always work. In the Zarnok system, Carathal, 3 million civilians were moved to bunkers. Earth sent a message. "Civilians will be spared. Your military leaders will not." 12 hours later, drones entered. The bunkers, they didn't fire on the people. They scanned faces, identified ex-generals, walked past children. 5 people died. Everyone else lived. The message was clear. We do not kill for fear. We kill for justice. 48 hours. That was the time Earth gave the Zarnok homeworld. No more, no less. The galaxy held its breath. Would Earth really destroy an entire capital planet with billions of lives? Surely not. Surely they would stop. But deep down, everyone already knew the answer. The Zarnok Empire tried everything. They offered peace. They offered prisoners. They even blamed others. Still, Earth did not reply. Only the timer continued point for 2 hours, 24 hours, 12 hours, ... Panic spread across the galaxy. Other empires, once powerful and proud, now feared they were next. The Furian Syndicate shut down its military stations. The Kren Alliance began deleting war records. The Shara Union burned entire archives to hide their crimes. But it was too late. Humans already knew. They had been watching for a century, recording everything, waiting. The final hours arrived. Zarnok Prime prepared for war. They armed every satellite, launched every fighter, raised their strongest energy shields. Underground, the Emperor gave a speech. "We will not fall. We are Zarnok, we are the fire, but in space." There was no fire. Just cold, black ships. Watching. Waiting, at exactly 0 hour, the attack began. But not with missiles, not with lasers, with sound all across the planet. A low tone began to play, a single human voice. Calm, robotic. Zarnok Prime has been judged. Command structure terminated, civilians spared. Operation End Fear begin. Then silence. 5 seconds later, the shields fell. No bombs. No flashes, just power. ... Gone. Zarnak's planet-wide defense grid shut down like a light switch. Their weapons wouldn't fire. Their computers blinked out. Even their fighters dropped from the sky, dead in the air. In orbit, human drones moved in, surgical, swift. They entered bunkers. No killing, no fire, just one by one. They found the generals, the admirals, the scientists who built weapons to destroy Earth's peace teams. Each was marked. Each was erased. In 32 minutes, it was done. The rest of the planet was untouched. No cities burned, no families harmed, but their empire gone. The galaxy screamed, not because of noise, but because of silence. For the first time in history, an empire had been defeated without a war. No invasion, no glory, just silence, shadows, and surgical justice. A message went out to the Galactic Council. It played once. No repeats, no replies. Earth has acted. Our silence is over. Those who seek peace will have it. Those who bring war will disappear in it. No one responded, because now the galaxy knew the humans had never been peaceful. They were just patient, and now they were done waiting. The galaxy was no longer the same. Zarnuk Prime had fallen, not by fire, not by bombs, but by silence, the strongest empire in known space, gone in under an hour. No one celebrated, no one spoke. Even the pirates stopped raiding, because now everyone understood. The humans weren't observers anymore. They were judges across thousands of systems. Human ships stood motionless. They didn't invade. They didn't destroy. They watched worlds where war had been normal. They watched empires that once ruled with fear. They watched those who had smiled while humanity suffered. Now, the smile was gone. The Galactic Council called one final meeting. Every species was there, even those who had once ignored Earth. The council leader, shaking, made a public message. We offer peace, true peace, full protection for all human colonies. No more tricks, no more lies. They begged for forgiveness. Some even offered their fleets to Earth's control. But Earth didn't reply right away then. After 2 days, a final human broadcast began. The same cold voice from before. This is Earth Command. The cycle is broken. Those who wanted war have been removed. We offer 2 choices. A map of the galaxy appeared. Thousands of stars lit up, some green, some red dot. The voice continued. Green zones, safe. These worlds never attacked humanity. They helped. They respected. Life, they will be protected. Red zones, watched. These worlds harmed, hunted, and deceived. They are on final warning. Any new aggression will be answered with silence. Then the map faded, replaced by a final image, a circle, half light, half dark, balanced, and one sentence below it. Peace is earned. So is silence. Across the galaxy, silence returned. But now, it was different. Not fear, not threat, but respect. The humans went quiet again. Their ships vanished from orbit. Their drones returned to deep space. Their voices stopped. They became observers once more. But now, the galaxy watched them. In the years that followed, war dropped to its lowest level in history. Old enemies began talking. Trade routes opened. Peace spread. Real peace, not forced by power, but by memory, because no one forgot what happened. When the Silent Ones finally spoke,